My man.
My dog.
All right, man. So, we back with another episode of Intentional. I'm here with my boy Yante.
Blessed to be here, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Dang,
around
man.
good people, bro.
It's been a while,
It's
man.
been a while for
It's been a
sure.
while, dog.
It's been a long time.
Tell the people who you are, man. What you do.
Yeah. I'm Yante Maten, pro basketball player, currently playing in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you want me to go back like
Oh yeah,
history type time? Like
we can. Yeah, you can go back a little bit.
So I played basketball at University of Georgia. Well, actually, before that, I played for the family.
Yeah.
Where did I meet you? Did I meet you? Because
I
I
think
know
it
I
was
met you at
youth.
church.
Yeah,
At church
it was
for
youth
sure.
service.
But we played against each other. When did we play against each other? That was
High school.
That was high school?
Oh, high school.
Okay, yeah, it was high school, right? But I
In the
thought we played
family.
before that too. Did we not? It was the first time we played against
It
each other was in
seems
high
like
school?
it. I think it.
It
Well,
might
I
have
mean,
been.
we grew up with the family and
It
stuff.
might have been.
but
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, so like family, middle
Family,
school.
okay, yeah. So we've been playing each other for a long time when we was younger. Some years and years of playing.
Yeah.
But I met him in church before that.
Yeah.
But in terms of my career, I started off here in Michigan on the Detroit family. Ended up going to Losser. Losser went to Bloomfield Hills, and then I graduated from there, and then went to Georgia, University of Georgia. And then from there, I went to the Heat for a year. I did like a short stunt with the Celtics and their G League team. Then went overseas to South Korea to Israel to Japan, and I've been there ever since.
I didn't know you went to Israel.
It was a very short time. I didn't even play. I might have played one game. So basically, I got injured in Korea, and they were like, "Yo, can we get you over here, get you rehab, and if you're able to play, can you play with us?" And they were like, and my agent was like, "Yeah, they're paying." So so that's how I ended up getting over there, and I didn't get healthy from my injury in Korea. While I was there, it was kind of like almost there, but it wasn't fully there. And so I got to maybe play like maybe one game, but it was an awesome experience. That was one of my favorite countries I played in.
That's what's up,
sure.
What's up?
Got to see where Jesus died and everything. Yeah, the whole
Dang,
thing. That's what I'm saying, bro. You gotta make that trip.
The Holy Land.
The Holy Land. That's what I'm saying, bro. You gotta make that trip.
They used to do it at Word of Faith.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they kind of stopped. Anyway, man, that's awesome, dude. I always wondered like what the mindset of a pro is from high school to college.
Yeah.
And by the way, you modest, man. You was player of the year at Georgia and everything.
Oh, yeah. I got SEC player of the year.
Yeah. So this guy is the man.
No. You ain't gonna do all that. I ain't gonna say the man, bro. That's only God. God, the only man. But it was all for His glory. And to be honest, like growing up, I was like super bad at basketball. It was just what God. Like I thought I was super bad. Like so, in high school and kind of like prior to it, so like middle of high school, that's when I got good. But prior to that, I used to go to the Boys and Girls Club over there in Auburn Hills. I used to like get picked up last every time, and I was by far the tallest person. Because I was bad. I used to always trip over myself and be on the floor. People would say like I'm a floor mat. So I was doing it was bad. It was bad, bro. It was really bad, bro. I used to really be like on the floor because I used to trip all the time. And like, just having big feet, like I had a size 15, like since I was like, I don't want to say middle school, but it was almost about middle school, So I was like, you probably had the same struggle. Facts. What size do you wear?
14 now.
14, yeah, that's 15, what I'm saying.
14,
exactly.
Yeah.
15, 16, they used to have a little, depending on the shoe type.
Right.
Yep. So that was my, that was kind of like my journey or whatever in terms for like development or whatever. But middle of the, I think it was my junior year or sophomore year, that's when I like, my coordination started catching up. You know what I mean?
Did you always like basketball? Or, When did you start?
Yeah, so I liked it, but I never wanted to play professionally. That was not my dream, was to play professionally. Like some people have those hoop dreams at a young age. Like, oh yeah, I'm about to
You just
put in
know.
hours and hours and hours in
just
the gym.
right?
No, I did not want to play basketball professionally. I just liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the competitive part of it.
Yeah.
But I also like playing with my friends. That was the biggest thing. It's like all my friends were playing. It's like I want to play with them. You know what I mean? So it's like it's the brotherhood that kind of comes with sports.
Shout out Armand, man.
Armand and Khalil. Yeah. Them were my boys.
When did you discover that you actually liked it or loved it, and said, "Hey, I'm pretty good at this"?
Yeah. So I didn't start taking I took basketball serious the whole time because if I'm in it, I'm taking it serious. But I didn't really have those like hoop dreams until college. Until I heard somebody say, "Hey, bro, you might go to the NBA."
That's like the
that's
what?
I was like, that don't sound bad. I might want to do that. So that's what they were talking about. I think it was like some like draft board. Someone mentioned it or whatever. I think it was like my sophomore year because I was averaging like 16 at one point. Because I went from like averaging like maybe like 2 to like 16 or 15 like that because freshman and sophomore year.
Yeah.
Because our seniors left. And once they left, then I got my opportunity to play, and then I kind of took a hold of that mantle when I got there. So yeah.
Ooh, man.
And that's when I got serious, and then so my work ethic was always really good. I always worked really hard in basketball, and I think that's the pro part that you were talking about, like the pro mindset. Like even though the opportunity was not there the whole time, I still was working as though like I was going to get drafted. You know what I mean? But that wasn't my mindset. And that correlates to God. Like that correlates to like it's definitely the same thing. Like the same things that we practice, like
definitely
killing your flesh, like telling yourself like how your flesh is going to move, what you're going to do, regardless of how you feel. You know what I mean? That all translates super well into athletics for sure.
Definitely, I would always say that you encourage your kids to play sports because you can learn so many life lessons.
So much, bro.
Through sports. So college to pro.
Yeah.
Getting an agent and discovering like where you're gonna go, the moves. How was that for you? What's that like? Without giving away too much.
Yeah. No, I mean, bro, the whole thing was like God led. Like even going to Georgia, like I prayed about to backtrack. I prayed to even go to Georgia because you don't really know like how to navigate that.
I would think it's
like
scary.
I had state didn't really want me. I would even though state they said or whatever like they didn't really want me for real. I knew I wasn't going to state, but like I was thinking like UC Davis because they had my major. I was thinking Georgia because they were like actively chasing me. I was thinking Indiana. So those were my top three. And
highly sought after. Can't relate.
Man,
but
no, that was all God, bro. That was all God.
Yeah, I got you.
So I sat down in front of me and my mom prayed. We're in Fox Hills, which is apartments, and I'll never forget we were in an apartment, and I was like, "Mom, where should I go?" He's like, "You need to pray about it." I was like, "I'm praying." I was like, "I don't know." And then so it came time. We had a set date. She went into her room. I went into my room. We both prayed, came back out, and we said at the same time, we said, God's going to tell us. And so we spent some time with God and then came out and said at the same time where we're going, where God told me to go. We both said at the same time, Georgia.
Wow.
And then that's how I committed to Georgia. It was just strictly through prayer, not because Indiana, basketball wise, if you was thinking pro or whatever, like that's probably the better option. Like,
because Georgia's a football school.
Yeah, Georgia's a football school. You know what I mean? Especially at that time. Now it's getting way better and better and better. But like, especially at that time, it was like Georgia's known for football. You know what I mean? And so, and then Indiana was like, okay, you can get me here. You know what I mean? And then UC Davis was like, because my major was wildlife biology. So I was like, okay, well, that might be the best option because that's what I want to go into. You know what I mean? So like, they're all equally good.
Yeah.
But I was just praying. I know God knows best. So I'm like, we're just going to leave it to God. And that's what my mom said as well. And so we did. And that's how I ended up with Georgia. And then after that, Sweet Georgia started playing on our TV, and we didn't have cable. Like, it just came on and started playing like loud. I promise you, God turned up the volume. It was crazy. God turned up the volume or whatever, bro, like, or something, because it was just playing loud. Like, we prayed, we was thanking God, and all of a sudden it just started playing out the blue. It was crazy. I was like, wow, I'll never forget that. Honest story my mom would tell you, bro. I was like, bro, that was crazy. Yeah, it was just a confirmation, like, on top of like what we just already knew was God. You know what I mean? So, oh, matter of fact, we called the coach, told him that we're committing, and then it played. Yeah, right after that. So God told us, we told the coach, and then the song played. Yeah, that's what it was.
Confirmation.
It was crazy. But to answer your question, so when it came to the like the agencies and all that, that's what you're asking, right? The agents and like the transition from college to pro. That transition was a little bit different, more so in like I didn't get to choose. It wasn't a choice that was coming for me. You know what I mean? More so like more so it was like my agent's kind of decision. So I signed to it. Then the agency process was difficult as well. It all comes down to prayer. That's why like you can't take
most important.
You can't take God out of anything. You know what I mean? Like, especially when it comes to areas that you don't know. Like, this agent gonna sound good, that agent gonna sound good, but they saying the same thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? They telling you how much they can help you. This dude telling you how much he can help you and all these different things. So it's like, how do I know which way to go? You know what I mean? And that's been the story of my life. Is like, God will lead you. The verse that I stood behind was, there'll be a voice behind you telling you which way you should go, whether left or right. You know what I mean? And that was the verse that I constantly told God, like, God, this is what you said. You feel me?
That's true.
Hey, all right.
You got to remind him of his word.
I said, God, that's what you said. You know what I mean? So, all right, now it's time. I need to hear this voice. And so the agents, it came down, I prayed, and I went in a certain direction. And that agent did me well. He got me opportunity with the Heat for the summer league team, because I didn't get drafted. I thought I would get drafted because I averaged like 16 sophomore, 17 like junior, then maybe like 17 again, maybe a little bit higher higher efficiency numbers. My senior year, maybe a little bit higher. And so I thought I would get drafted, maybe like at the very, very end, but we didn't. And so my agent ended up, after I signed up, he ended up telling me, like, we're gonna try figure out something for you. You know what I mean? And so that summer, he called me and said, like, he got me a summer league kind of like deal with the Miami Heat, where I got to go on their team and then try to, like, you know what I mean, go from there basically, and whatever happens, happens, you know. So that's the best we could do, and that's what I did. And I got to the summer league, and
what's that like? Like
summer league,
going into summer league,
yeah,
you playing against players that you played with or against in college. What's everybody's mindset? Because it looks like everybody's just trying to fight for a roster spot.
It is, bro. It's so competitive. It's so competitive. Like, everybody's like trying to get their shine. And you got to think too, like, a lot of the dudes in summer league, like, they're scorers. You know what I mean? Like, they're like scorers, and they're not. They're going to make the right play, the right pass. You know what I mean? But like, a lot of times these dudes are scorers trying to look out for their stats, whatever their stat may be. Like, even if they're not scorers, they're rebounders, whatever it is. Like, they're going to try to do the best of their ability so that they can shine. You know what I mean? And which is,
that's
what you're supposed to do. Like, you know what I mean? So it's super competitive, but it's super fun at the same time. It's in Vegas, so it's a lot of like what comes with Vegas. You know what I mean? Like, it's temptations and things for you to go do and stuff. And it wasn't no temptation on my part, mainly because I'm like, bro, I have a goal to accomplish. I'm not here trying to participate, see what everybody got going on. So this has, like, even outside of it, I still wouldn't be tempted by that. I'm like, that's not even what I'm trying to do. But even more so, like, I'm like, I don't see, like, some guys going out or whatever. I'm like, bro, are y'all not trying to get this spot, boy? You got literally millions potentially on the line.
That's crazy.
I said, oh, this is definitely not the time for you, in my personal opinion. But I'm like, to each their own or whatever. So
these guys didn't even make it.
It was a lot, that's what I'm saying. Some people didn't make it, some people did, whatever. But yeah, it's a amazing opportunity just to see, like, all the high level guys, you know what I mean? Go do that. And
that's what's up, man. Was there ever a point in your life where you kind of got away from God, or it seemed really dark?
Yeah.
Or, you know, you didn't know couldn't find a way out.
So I'll say a couple times, like I don't want to say I got away from God, but I was like, God, like the vicinity. I felt like he wasn't like in the vicinity as close as he normally is, and that's not God. That was obviously has to be me because God's always knocking
there.
You know what I mean? So that more so in correlation to like my life. You know what I mean? Kind of what I was feeling. I say probably like one of the hardest times I think was just I would probably say this past year when I was in Japan. Even though we had very good team success, and we were doing really well, and I was even leading a devotion, like a Bible study. I just felt like I was just fighting so many temptations, fighting like my flesh, fighting. I was just fighting, and it probably was even more so because I was leading men's Bible study.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the devil, like obviously the devil always try to go for the head. You know what I mean? And that's why like I have so much respect for our pastor. You know what I mean? The Word of Faith, Bishop Butler, and like all the pastors that's head of the churches. Because if they could take you down, then you know what I mean. The rest gonna crumble as well. They
go through so much, man.
That's what I was saying. And so I felt like I was just under a lot more temptation, fighting like just the whole nine. I wouldn't say like I was like necessarily like far because I was still feeling his spirit and he would give me messages and words throughout the whole thing. It just I felt like my flesh, like I was like having to fight it way more than probably ever before. You know what I mean?
I guess that's what comes with leadership. You know, like you said, being the head of devotions, leading. The devil don't like that. So yeah, try to take it out. But
I would say that, and then probably another time was just in was when I was in Korea. A lot of the times we're overseas. So a lot of times the overseas life, like playing basketball over there, it gets a little lonely. You know what I mean?
I heard that before.
Not a little, it gets a lot lonely. let me rephrase that. It gets very lonely.
Yeah, I heard that.
Especially like when you don't, because some of these guys, players have wives, and so they'll come over. You know what I mean? They got something like steady. You know what I mean? Over there, like especially if you're in a country that they don't speak English, like sometimes your relationships aren't as deep. You know what I mean? Like as they could be. Like sometimes like I'll have my teammates or whatever, and I'll be trying to talk to them and get like a point across, but it'll be only very surface level.
Yeah.
You know, I'm already more of a deeper person in general. Like I kind of want to know like, oh, well, what you feeling? Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, where that's coming from? You know what I mean? That's kind of how my mind thinks.
Same.
Yeah.
Same way.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's probably because of how we're brought up too and how we have to analyze ourselves in our walk with Christ. You know what I mean? To understand like where that's coming from or whatever that habit is or whatever it's like. You know what I mean? Pricking your flesh. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I'd say like when I was in Korea, the first time overseas, like it was COVID. I couldn't speak to my team. It was isolated. I was like, bro, like I've never been depressed, but I was like, I could feel kind of like where like sometimes when people get depressed, like that feeling of depression. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, man, like this is like so hard and it was so challenging, but God brought me out of it and brought me through it throughout the whole time. And I just got into like a lot of praise.
Oh, I was about to ask how'd you get through it, but yeah.
Praise, bro.
Praise.
I was just praising God throughout the whole thing because I forgot the minister the other day. 2 weeks ago. What was her name?
Kay Stramler?
Yeah,
Yeah.
When she was talking about confessing and not just praying to God.
Yeah.
About moving the mountain, right?
Delegation of authority comes by saying, not praying. Yeah, that's it.
My boy was locked in. Service.
I wrote that down.
I
wrote that down.
He didn't stutter, mumble not a word on that book. I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Dude, I wrote that down. I'm like,
good.
Yeah.
That's good, bro.
That
was really good.
Our words, bro, our words matter. They have way more power than we give them credit for.
Yeah.
You know, and God, He's a faith God.
Right.
You know? Like as you already know, what He says, He talks about faith.
Right.
And He walks by faith.
Right.
And whatever He says is faith based.
Right.
And it's going to happen.
Right.
And so we gotta act like that
Yeah.
too, because we've been given the same authority. But my bad, I
Yeah.
ain't hear
No,
that.
bro. Listen. This is your podcast, man. You speak as much as you want to, and you go ahead. Like, no, that's good, bro. And the thing I think that she said was just like that stuck with me is that she said he didn't say if you pray that this mountain will be moved, it will be moved. It says speak to the mountain and it'll be moved. And I was like, we're almost got to doing my dance to that thing, because that's powerful. Like, God has given us dominion. Like he has given us the ability to speak to it as though it are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
exactly, bro.
that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to do better at in my life. Like, I already speak because that's how my mom raised us. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to, like, not just speak, but like believe and speak it. Like, no, this is how it's gonna be. You know what I mean?
Don't doubt in your heart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
last question, I guess. When did you know, or was there a moment or moments where you knew or you figured out that God was intentional? Like, yes.
Yeah.
Besides Georgia, because but like he planned this out, like, and he's showing me how he planned this out.
Yeah.
Dang.
I mean, I really think. Oh. So I'll tell you a quick testimony. It's not quick at all, but I'm gonna sum it up quick. That's okay.
That's all right.
So Duncan Robinson, me and Duncan Robinson, came in together. We had these conversations about Christianity, and he didn't believe. I don't know if he was atheist or he didn't believe that there was a God, or that he thought there was a God, but he didn't believe in any particular one. I don't remember exactly what it was, so I don't want to say that. But I think it was he didn't believe that there was a God, and so I like argue and be like, well, because he's super smart and a little bit more science based as well. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I come from science. I come from a science major, so I'm like, and I still believe it. So I was like, I think it all still goes back to God, even with all the different, things. But I'll speak on it.
Proof,
yeah. I'm like, man, it's 50 billion things in this world operating perfectly right now, like too perfectly. You know what I mean?
It's okay.
And I told him, like, example on top of example, top of example, top of example. He was like, yeah, and you know what I mean? And we're both coming from a respectful place, you know what I mean? And he'd bring this up, and then I'd be like, well, you know what I mean? And I'd bring this up, and he'd be like, well, so and I think that was healthy conversation, you know what I mean? And we had that back and forth a couple different times. We one summer, the summer that I got cut from, actually, the summer from the heat. So the summer, my mom came and told me on the phone. She was like, Yante. I was like, what's up, Mom? She was like, the Miami Heat are going to the finals. God told me the Heat's going to the finals. You know what she told me?
Yo.
She said, go tell your coach. Now, mind you, dog.
Hey, man.
Listen, mind you, I am a rookie on the Heat. Like our season just ended. We haven't gone our second season. I'm a rookie, boy. I'm just trying to find my spot. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? Like, just secure my. Like, I'm already just barely hanging on to there. You know what I mean? And so my mom said, God told me she was super excited, and I'm excited, and I believe it instantly, because I know my mom know God, and when my mom hear from God, it's most definitely from God. You know what I mean?
No, that's right.
And so she told me that, and I went and told Duncan. I was like, Dunk, guess what, bro? And he was like, what? I said, my mom heard from God. We're going to the finals next year. And you know me just believing in me, like, I'm just expressing it. Dunk probably may not have come from that, and so he was like, he's trying to be respectful. He's like, bro, like I'll be honest, like
I'll be honest,
like that's my dog. You know what I mean? He was like, I think he's like, do you have to understand what have to happen for that to for that to happen?
Yeah,
like it's so much, because it was D-Wade's last year on the Heat. I got to be a part of that journey. Super amazing.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome, dude.
He left. We didn't make the playoffs. And so he's like, dude, for that to happen, it had to be like a complete switch of like everything. Like, he was just naming off a whole bunch of things that would have to happen for us to get to that point. right? He was like, and I was like, don't listen, bro. If my mom heard from God, I can assure you one thing. She heard from God.
Yeah.
Like, I know God's voice, but that woman there be chatting it up like it ain't nothing. Like,
yeah.
And so I told him that. And that summer I got cut from the Heat. And then so I'm just going through my life. Now I wasn't thinking nothing of what God told my mom or whatever. And I went to the Celtics, went to their G League team, and then COVID hit. And so then I went home. And I think I went overseas maybe and came back. I don't remember the exact time when it was, but whenever it was, the Heat or the NBA went to the bubble.
Yeah.
NBA went to the bubble. And so I was at home at the time, and I'm sitting there watching. Like, I don't really watch the NBA too much, and I saw that the Heat was going to the finals. I was like, I started thinking. I said, wait a second, hold on.
Yo,
a flashback went to my head of me telling Doug. I said, nah, I know for sure God didn't tell me that He was going to the finals, and I wasn't gonna be part of it. I started thinking, why did God tell my mom that the Heat was going to the finals and I'm not there? And so I called Duncan. Or I went and told my mom, I said, Mom, you remember you told me? And she's like, yep. And I grabbed the phone. I said, I'm gonna call Duncan. I said, Dunk, you remember what I told you last summer? This way he said, Yante, I can't deny there's not a God anymore.
Wow, man. That is amazing, bro.
I was like, boy, you talking about joy filled. Boy, I was smiling ear to ear, whole conversation. As soon as he said that, bro, he said, every game I sat in my locker and thought about what your mom told you that summer. So I'm sitting there, we having a conversation, man, and I'm just like, dumbfounded.
Oh, man.
And I realized at the end of the conversation, after I hung up, the Holy Spirit told me it was never about you. And I was like, bro. And I realized that it was all for someone else's soul salvation. You know what I mean? It's all for somebody else to know Christ. God is a God of the small details and the big. He'll take a team to the finals for one person.
That's the kind of God.
Like, what God can't do. You think God ain't gonna get involved in some God to do anything for you. It said he'd lead the 99 for the one.
For the one.
You feel me? And I just saw that in real time.
In 4K.
4K, bro.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, bro, that is amazing. So I got on my skateboard and started riding around, just smiling like the whole time, like thanking God, yelling throughout my neighborhood, bro. That's one of the best experiences that I ever had in my life, that I got to see God and His promises and who He is and how He used me and how He even didn't use me in a certain scenario in terms for somebody else's salvation.
Oh my gosh, man.
And I think that mindset of it's not about us can translate into so many different things, because honestly, that's how the devil attacks us so many times, is that if he can shift our focus of what we're going through about us versus about the people around us that God has put into our lives and about God Himself primarily.
That's one of the best examples of how intentional God is I ever heard. Definitely on this podcast, but man, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, no problem, man. I was happy to be a part of it.
I appreciate you being on the show, man.
Of course, bro. It was awesome, man. I appreciate that for sure.
Yante, man.
It's a good guy, bro. This just the start. This is the start of his podcast right here, man. This thing finna go up for sure, and we believe in that in Jesus' name, bro.
In Jesus' name.
God's continue to use you.
Thank you, man.
Continue to use me, all to glorify Him for sure.
So thank you, man.
Yes,
this has been intentional.
This has been awesome.
Appreciate y'all.